Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, 7:30 a.m., November 10th. We're going to open up with the ES chart just so we can see exactly what the heck is going on, in the traditional markets. So as we could see, again, after we created a sharp top yesterday, we got strongly rejected and we've been chopping around this area ever since. And all this has to do with the vaccine news. And if you want to hear some of my thoughts and implications on why the vaccine is dragging down tech and high growth and even things like gold and Bitcoin, I explained it yesterday. And of course, you can go check out Fastle's explanations over here in live equity updates. This is what you pay for. These are phenomenal updates from Fastle. So make sure y'all check it out. So, what we have again in the ES and even the NASDAQ futures, which are, again, these are tech heavy indices. Okay. The S&P 500, especially, you would think that it's 500 companies and you would think that, okay, well, if it's 500 companies, why should only tech be dragging the the index down? Well, because the top 5 or 6 within the index are the major players that are effectively dragging the index down. So, point is that what we're seeing right now is a heavy selling coming into the market due to this whole vaccine thing. Now, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ futures are saying, okay, well, if we know that the vaccine is coming, right, and if it's 90% effective, as Pfizer said, well, where are the beaten down stocks which we could benefit from, right? Because remember, it's going to sort of get us back to normalcy once again. Again, if it's getting us back to normalcy, what are the things that are going to start taking off? Well, it's probably going to be things like airlines, cruise lines, restaurant businesses, possibly even some parts of real estate. These things are going to get us back. Okay, but right now, over the last several months, what we've seen is the stay-at-home stocks, the tech stocks, the high-growth stocks that were booming, and with that came gold and Bitcoin too. Okay. So anyway, what we're seeing is just generally a pause in the market. And if we go over to Bitcoin, right, I don't think Bitcoin is doing anything particularly terrible, but I do think that this area right here, the fact that we're kind of chopping around here, moving sideways, and we also put in, a couple of key lower highs, like from here high, I'm sorry, over here lower high, and then this all is, another large lower high. So this kind of tells me that, okay, maybe we might be, having a bit of a distribution around this area. And I think, we're probably rolling to the downside a little bit more. But once again, I think the downside is a little bit contained in terms of price action, because I don't believe that, from here, we're just going to dump straight down. Um, what we what you would hope is, price got defended right here on the trend line as well as the pivot. Now what you're hoping is price goes up, comes back, even if it puts in slightly deeper low, okay, then it bounces off that and heads up. Okay, that's what you're kind of hoping for. So if today, right, price kind of spikes down a little bit more, and if it gets to about $15,100, even if it's 15,050, you want to see a strong, some strong buying activity come in. Okay. You don't really want to get back towards this low. And you especially don't want to put in a lower low down here, because that won't be good. Okay. Because that would mean that you've broken through these trend lines, and quite possibly you've broken through the weekly pivot right here. So let's worry about that, when the time comes. But for now, I don't think I'm too concerned about it, but I am aware of it. And I am aware that it can happen. Okay. So again, we're under the weekly open right here. And as stated yesterday, we took some nice profit, okay, around 15,450, which is right near the weekly open. Okay. There's a reason why, I mark out these levels for us. I mention, why the specific areas are my target. And it's due to the fact that I watch specific levels, whether it's fibs, markers like weekly open, SR levels, monthly opens, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And, you know, the weekly open, in my opinion, is probably one of the easiest things that you could set up on your chart because more often than not, if you go back and look historically, the weekly open has been a very important level across the board for many weeks on end. For the last several years for Bitcoin. Okay, so if you want to be a technical trader, these are things that you must understand and note within your charts. And this is why I show you guys this kind of information in a very detailed manner, so you could replicate this chart on your own. So on the 15-minute chart, like I said, we're kind of chopping around sideways, moving up and down the pivot. I don't really like that because honestly, I think it's probably a bit of distribution happening here. That's what it looks like to me. And, once we get that break to the downside, like I said, we should be expecting somewhere down here, maybe 15,050, 15,100, something like that. On the daily time frame, okay. So yesterday, remember I said probably going to be a down day. Today, I would probably say might be a down day for Bitcoin as well, but I think it more so might be a slight doji like this, like a tighter candle, not maybe something big and long with wicks to both sides like that. And the reason why I say that, and the reason why I say that is because the tech stocks yesterday, okay, all right. So tech stocks saw some heavy selling going in, okay, whether it's Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and you can see by the way, pre-market again, it's a down candle, right? You can see, um, Amazon, Zoom. I mean, basically all the stocks pretty much sold off. And again, this goes along with my theory that vaccine news isn't generally a good sign for something like these tech stocks. And with that, Bitcoin is a high growth, high beta asset, so it's going to kind of move the same way. Now, the other part of understanding correlations and knowing how the crypto market moves is, if Bitcoin kind of keeps moving sideways or is still generally consolidating in this big, triangle looking thing, right? Yesterday I mapped out a triangle for y'all. And this could be very well, the creation of a big triangle, right? So you can see top, bottom, somewhere near the top, bottom. Now we're looking for another top or a breakthrough to the upside. So in any case, this consolidation should and hopefully be good for altcoins. Number one, altcoin that we are kind of paying attention to on a day-to-day basis is Link. All right. So if you're kind of looking at Link right now, one could mark out very nicely a nice ascending trend right here. Okay. You can draw it a couple different ways. Like you can go about it this way or maybe this way. In any case, generally you have some trend being created up here. So what you want Link to do is you want Link to maintain this trend and more importantly, keep hammering this area right here. Okay. This is that $13 level that we had marked out for, several weeks, almost a good month or two, right? This red level. So the fact that Link is consolidating here, the fact that Bitcoin dominance is also consolidating, maybe rolling over, and maybe Bitcoin is also slightly rolling over, and Link is not, this is a good thing for altcoins. All right. So I tend to believe that Link has a higher probability to break up. But again, we need to see that bid being stuck to the market, meaning we need to see buyers step up and start driving the prices higher. Link is probably the first one that I'm looking at to start breaking out. The other one I'm looking to start breaking out is ETH. Okay. ETH, once again, I've stated 441, that's the level to defend. This could easily, right here, right? You can see this right here as a pretty strongly developing, pennant, okay? So that's a nice big bull pennant. We want price to start escaping out of this pennant. And I don't mean with just shoddy volume. You need good volume coming out of this. That's when bull flags and bull pennants and basically bullish patterns are most useful, when there's volume behind the move. When there's not volume behind the move, it's kind of garbage movement, and you might get trapped. So consolidation right here, consolidation link right at resistance, and then one of the other performing assets is aave, right? You guys very well know, aave has been doing extremely well for the last several days. Now, aave is also, in my opinion, one of the faster runners in the market, due to the fact that it has a lot going for it in terms of how it's been perceived and seen in the DeFi space. And then same thing with Wi-Fi, right? Strong performers. Okay. So with Wi-Fi, I'd probably say that if you are looking to be a buyer, look for this area as a retest. This is the marker of 11,125, or I'm sorry, 11,225. Okay. It's possible that, maybe we keep breaking up, but I think the best area for, you to be a buyer is right here. Okay. Because that retest, if and when you get that, I think that'll be pretty solid. Okay. Because the risk to reward is very defined, right? You go long right here, your stop is right here. Versus if you're kind of going long right now, you're not really broken above this resistance marker, and that comes from this area right here, which is 15,300. So your stop may have to be right here, but again, you could get stopped due to this retest. So if you're going long up here, the ideal stop is down here, which again, risk to reward wise, that doesn't really make any sense. It's pretty terrible risk to reward. Okay. So just letting y'all know, but I do think, Wi-Fi and Aave and Link and ETH, these are the ones that I want to be paying attention to. I'm also carefully watching DOT and Theta. Okay. But neither of them have actually performed well. So, I'm kind of happy that I'm not in a Theta position yet. And DOT is generally consolidating. It has this big, potential reaccumulation process being built out. But again, same thing with DOT and same thing with Link is, you want to see this uptrend intact. And I think, personally, this is one of the key resistance markers, which is 449 right here. Okay. We need to break up and out of that, hold above it, and then we should start pushing higher. All right. But we have to get out of this white box. Once you get out of this white box, I have pretty high hopes for DOT. Okay. I think it can make it towards these highs up here. Okay. Money flow wise and everything, not looking too bad. I don't see any big concerns, but I am kind of concerned that the 4-hour OBV is starting to roll over. In fact, so you could see that's a lower low right there on OBV. Yet price is creating a higher low. I guess you could look at that as bullish divergence, but sometimes it also happens to be that OBV is leading, meaning OBV is saying, hey, price shouldn't be up here. More than likely it should come down a little bit more. So it varies. Like, OBV is not like RSI, right? You can't spot divergences so easily. Sometimes you can, but it's not that simple as how we identify divergences on things like RSI or MACD. Okay, but something to pay attention to. And again, I think if we're staying along this trend line and we see OBV not getting torched to the downside, I feel a little bit comfortable staying long. Let's check out. I don't think I have anything on my Twitter feed. Nothing important to mention, but make sure y'all check out this thread, okay, on my Twitter feed. Let's check out Trading Light, because I want to check out a couple things that are going on. we Okay, so I'm not seeing anything specific regarding support or buyers or sellers yet. And this being Bitmax, this is not bad. You know, CVD's kind of grinding higher, and so is price. So this is not a bad sign. Let's see other exchanges. Finex. Okay, so there's a good support right around 14,600. Not necessary that we have to come down all the way to that support, but again, something to watch. Okay. Let's check out Bitstamp. Same thing on Bitstamp. Someone is, buying strong or has a strong wall set up around 15,050. And Binance futures. I don't know why the CVD on Binance is down so much, but could mean that there's a lot of selling going on. Got some decent, sell walls right here on 15,800, a little bit around 16,000. See, Bitmax we already covered. Let's check out Coinbase. Yeah, big sellers around 16,000, but not a whole lot of support kind of, lined up. Let's check out ETH on Coinbase as well. See, ETH is very sporadic, but not a whole lot of, buying or selling, in terms of walls that are set up. Decent selling going on, but nothing too major. Band. Let's check out one more band. Band right there. I like Band as a project too, as a asset to trade. That is, yeah. See, Band is, continuously grinding higher and higher. So that's another one y'all want to pay attention to. Okay, Band. All right. Again, I'm not, just because I'm not trading these doesn't mean I'm not aware of them. All right, I've mentioned these numerous times in our analyses. Things that y'all want to pay attention to. Okay. So, even with Band, right, you kind of want at least, this high to get broken right here and closed above. Or if you really want to be safe, you want this high right here to get closed above. Okay. So if we get close above this high, we should be aiming higher and higher. All right. But this is a good thing that Band has kind of climbed back inside this range. Okay. So just set up some alerts for yourself, kind of open up a chart on the side, keep Wi-Fi, Band, aave, Link, ETH. These are the majors that you should be paying attention to. Okay. All right, folks, that's it. I hope this analysis was helpful. Y'all take care. Cheers. Let's be patient. And yeah, I'll talk to you through the day.